visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Okay. Let me make sure we in the right spot for this camera. Hold on. Let me double triple check here. Hold up. But while I'm doing that, good evening. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. All right, I see myself. Hold on, here we go. I see it again. There we go. We can get this thing cracking. All right. Come on over. I think we got a little lag, but it's okay. We're gonna get it together. All right, let's see. Feel like you guys can see me. I hope you guys can see me. There we go. I think I'm in the right spot now. But hello. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. This feels so crazy. We're almost to the end of the year, y'all. The end of the year, and it's kind of bittersweet. We've been doing these Monday Night Lives now for a while. If you're not new to this and you're true to this, you know it's been years. And out of all the years, I think we've only missed a handful of Mondays, and they were this year. So we've been doing pretty good. We've been trying to, as a team, bring you guys value, real-time practical strategies. So if you have been hanging in there with us and you're enjoying our last month, my little tears, then I'm so excited that you are here. I'm honored that you are taking time to engage with us. Definitely comment in the chat so that we know that you've been getting value, and let us know what you've been doing, especially around this month, because we've been talking a lot about planning and kind of getting things done in your business as we prepare for the new year. I'm not going to dive too deep today. I think we're going to keep it light. I really want to focus on some actionable steps. So we're going to get in and get out. I suggest you grab your pen, grab your pencil, grab, your cup of tea, whatever you want, get settled in, because we're going to get started. Give me 1 second because I still see a lag. Let me pop off screen and pop back on, see if it fixes it. All right, let's see if that fixes it. All right, we'll try it again. So before we dive into our topic, I do want to make sure I introduce myself, even though hopefully you know who I am by now. I am Corey von Bill Foster. I'm a speaker, trainer, a business coach specializing in implementation, helping amazing business owners like yourself get things done in their business. And I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable. I can't even talk today. iRock Marketable Business Solutions, where we work with coaches, consultants, and other small service-based small business owners. There we go. Corey, get your words together. And we service these clients from coast to coast and up into Canada. We've done for you services. That's websites, logos, funnels, email lists, and more. So if you are someone who is running a small business, hoping to run a small business, scaling a small business, then you are in the right place. As I mentioned before, every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch us here wherever you are watching for these Monday Night Lives until the end of the year. But don't worry, we have some cool content coming for you in the new year. We're just going to be freshening up some things. But anyway, let's dive into the topic tonight, because like I said, we've been talking about planning for the new year, goal setting, and today I really want us to focus on aligning, right? What we're thinking about doing and all the plans we're making for our business with our actual vision, right, for what the business is going to be. I think oftentimes a lot of business owners get kind of, stuck in the day-to-day, and they're not able to take a moment and kind of project out and say, where are we going? right? You're so busy on trying to survive the day to day. You're like, well, I don't even know what tomorrow, I don't even know what today is. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. And it's like, this is the perfect time of year to stop, take a breath, and say, what do we have planned for next year, right? Are the things that we may have planned align with the overall vision that we have for our small business? Because oftentimes there is a disconnect, right? You're like, well, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but do they really connect to the core, right? The core mission and vision that you have set in your business, right? Do we have to go back to that old business plan where you wrote your mission statement and your vision statement, and you took that business plan, you stuffed it in a drawer, never to be seen again? I ain't pointing no fingers, right? We listen, we don't judge. But I just want to point that out, that oftentimes we take a lot of time, right, to create and craft these amazing mission and vision statements. We take a lot of time to kind of imagine what is possible with our businesses. But then when we go to create the plan, right, the action steps that we're going to take, we don't incorporate those things into the plan. So tonight we're going to just talk a little bit about that. So first, before you can even, make sure you can adjust things, you have to say, one, do I have a vision for my business? And I don't mean a vision for 10 years from now. I've talked a lot about this in the past, especially with new business owners. I tell people, like, don't even plan outside of a year, because the business that you are thinking about now, right, the place where you are now in business, you can't even imagine what really your business can become, right? You might think it might be that, but by the time you get in there, get your hands dirty, like, that's not even the trajectory you're going on. I always talk about how when I started my business, I could not even imagine what it is now, because I grew as a person, right? I never would have imagined we would be serving the people we're serving in the way that we're serving them. So I don't even want you to waste your time, right? I love those 5-year like projected plans. That you have not quite found your perfect mode yet. I suggest we stick to 1 year. So when we think about the next year, do you have a clear vision of what that looks like? Do you have that? Do you have clear, smart goals outlined to service that vision that you have created in your mind for your business? These are questions I want you to ask yourself, because I've oftentimes I feel we put the cart before the horse, and we get to just like, oh, we're gonna do this, and this, and it's like, well, pause for a second. What was the mission? What was the vision? Right? Did we write it down and make it plain? Amen. But what was that? And then did we create smart goals that aligned, that's the key word, with that vision? Because we don't want to be fractured CEOs. We don't want to have something going on over here, something going over there, something going over here. Like, we already are wearing too many hats. We don't need to have every burner on at the same time, trying to be strategic about what we are going to do with our limited time, with our limited resources, with our limited funds. So we made the vision, we made it clean, we made it plain, it's easy to understand. We've created those smart goals that will align with that business plan. From there, we really need to spend probably the most time thinking about what actions we personally, right, as individuals, and what actions our team should be taking to get those goals accomplished. And I think this is where we don't spend enough time as business owners, because again, we're big picture. I call us visionaries. What is realistic? what really needs to be done from day to day? And and I just had a conversation with somebody today. If you are someone who knows that you are just that high level visionary, you're creative spirit and break it down to all the pieces, and you need to get somebody in your corner that can do that for you. Whether that's a manager, a coach, a friend, a sibling, only thinking big vision, right? Big picture. You're never going to get all that stuff done because there are so many, the depth is in the details. I can't remember the phrase, but either way, right? The details is what's going to, you and your team should be taking. Then you are really going to struggle to ever get to that big vision that you have in your mind. Start really diving into those action steps. I don't want you to stop there. I want you to really think about, you guys, like, I want to do a lot. Everybody I know wants to do a lot, but we can't do everything at the same time. I like the book, what is it, the 12-week year, right? Where they're kind of doing those 12-week sprints. Like, what can we get months from now? Time for you. What can you get done in 30 days? Right? Some of you need to break down your actions in just like 30 days. Like, we gonna go from A to Z in this one project. Some of you are a little further along, or you can do 12 weeks. But I really encourage you to think through priorities, because like I said, you can't get everything done. Some of you want to write a book. Some of you want to launch a community, create a mastermind group, launch a course. You want to do all the things. You want to speak here, there, and everywhere. You want to travel. You want to get consulting gigs. There's a lot. I get it. And it's not that these things can't be done. But when you are a solo entrepreneur or you have a very small team, time frame. So really think about, where are your priorities? Is it more important for you to land a speaking gig or launch the course? Because you may not have the bandwidth or capacity. Only you can tell yourself, right, what your bandwidth is. Because I remember when I was a VA, I knew 6 clients was my max. Like, shut it down after that. I can only handle about 6 clients, and I was already kind of pulling my hair out at that point. So you need to really look into systems I have in place based on the software at my disposal, right? The automations I have set up. What is my bandwidth? Because I may only be able to tackle this many projects at a time, this many priorities at a time. And that the cool thing about business is that we can always, out of our capacity, then we tend to struggle. We tend to burn out. We tend to have overwhelm. We tend to be frustrated. We tend to not hit our goals. And so I really want you to think it grows and increase the priorities that you put in place. And again, always remember to go back and make sure that those things are aligned with the vision. We're going to always keep going back to that. Is it aligned with the vision and the mission that we have? Now, life gonna life. Let's be real for a second. It doesn't mean that we're going to throw things away if they don't, completely pan out. But I do want you within the scope of, what if you need to adjust? When are we going to adjust? What are the things we're going to look at to decide when an adjustment, kind of take the emotion out and really put in some milestones for yourself and say, yeah, we're going to try to launch this course. These are when things are going to get done. We're going to try to sell it this way. Maybe you're going to try marketing first. But if we don't hit X, Y, and Z, by allocate some funds to either learn how to do our own ads or pay somebody to do some ads, but it's really important to set aside milestones and markers to say, okay, how are we defining success? Right? Because again, it's all going back to that vision that you made. How are we defining success? And if we're not hitting those milestones, when and how are we going to adjust and pivot? Because what will happen is you will be so emotionally invested in something that you'll be like, no, we just gonna ride it and see what happens. Like, don't do that. Make sure that you know when it's time to, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Like, you need to know when it's time for you to make a shift. Right? I'm not telling you to throw everything out, right? What is the baby with the bathwater? Don't do that. But I do want you to say, hey, if we don't hit this milestone, what adjustments can we make so that we don't lose traction, so we don't lose time, so that we still hit those goals that are aligned with the vision that we've set? All right. So make sure you plan for flexibility. It's important. They call it a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, right? we as business owners need to have a growth mindset to be open to adjustments, open to flexibility, open to adaptation, open to pivots. And it isn't to say that you're just going to be doing it willy-nilly, but I do want you to keep that in mind, right? And then adjust. Like I said, don't do all these planning and say we're going to adjust and get to the spot where we need to adjust and then decide not to. So adjust when your system says that you need to adjust. So again, that you can hit those goals. Now, I know I went a little fast today, but I don't think I did any kind of like hard, chemistry or rocket science that you guys can't understand the concept. But again, the biggest thing is make the vision, right? Make sure that vision and mission is aligned with your yearly goals, right? And vice versa. Make sure those goals are aligned with the mission and vision. Make sure that you're breaking those goals down. We're focusing only on a year. We're going to make sure that we have milestones in place. We're going to make sure we prioritize, right, what we're going to do so that we don't work outside of our capacity. We're going to then make sure that we have milestones in place to know when to adjust. And that's it. That's it. I want this to be simple for you guys. I think we kind of overcomplicate planning. And I'm not saying that it isn't nuanced, but when we just get to kind of the brass tacks of things, it makes it a lot easier. Write this plan down, right? And make sure you know what the goal is for the year. And go ahead and write your action steps towards it that align. And then put in your adjustments and when they're going to happen and your milestones. That's it. If nothing else, you get that done, then you can kind of move through that as you need to. And like I said, make it bite-sized pieces, guys. If you are not ready to emotionally commit to a full year plan, at least do 12, 30 days to 12 weeks. I say 12 weeks because truth be told, if you only do 30 days, you're going to be rushing for that next 30 days. So I really do encourage 12 weeks, but start 30 days and then do your next 30 days and your next 30 days, you'll get you your 12 weeks. All right, that is literally all I have for you guys. Look, I tried to get in and get out for you. So if this helped you, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what goal setting you plan to do for next year. And guys, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and we will see you next time.